Good evening, brethren. How are you doing? And I'm excited to have you here. This is another episode. Yeah, this is another episode of the Impart Media Church. What will you do for me, please? Once you join the call, just mute yourself so that we can have a clean conversation and the learning process can be seamless tonight. Tonight promises to be an amazing one that will create a paradigm shift in how you see technology and how to explore it as an individual and also the church. And the church is an entity that Christ has formed for the advancement of God's kingdom. And it's very important that you and I get to maximize the tools that are available on ground in this time and age. All right, I'm just trying to make sure that we're up to at least 10 individuals in this call for us to begin. And once we hit that giving extra 2 minutes, and we'll proceed from there. My name is Kalio Daniel, and once again, it's a privilege to be the one delivering the class for today. So today's going to be amazing, as I said, and hopefully you will learn something from it. All right. All right. Um, Let me see who is on the chat. Okay. I'm seeing Mr. Lawar, Mr. Edwin, Mr. Nelson, and okay, Mr. Sunday, Precious. Okay, I think we are almost hitting our 10 mark. Two more persons, and we'll proceed with the class. Unfortunately, this class may not be recorded, so everything we have to do today, you are opportune to gain it. Okay. All right, one more person, and we are good to go. All right, it's 5 minutes past 8 already, and let's proceed. I'm going to be teaching for the space of an hour, and this is actually supposed to be lengthier than that, but I'm trying to compress it because of time. Okay, all right. So let's learn today. All right, let's start up. Please, if you could see my screen, what I'm sharing, just signify by your hands. Thumbs up or lift up your hand so I can just see. All right, good. Thank you very much. So we are proceeding from there. So what we have to deal with is prompt engineering and the church. And my name is Kalio Daniel. I'm a mechatronics engineer by profession. I'm the co-founder of STEM Professionals Limited and also the chief automation officer. And one thing about AI, the church, that is me. I love integrating my profession in advancement of God's kingdom. So from automation to artificial intelligence to cutting out technology, I stumbled across AI, narrow AI, in the year 2016, and that was when I started using it. And when general AI came to play, I was amazed and I did not slack a day. So my passion is to leverage AI in an advancing God's media, church media, and to change the way we minister, how we engage our community, and you could bear with me that there is some certain things about follow up. There's lapses in follow up, lapses in content creation that are godly, and lapses in using the media to touch lives. And these can all be dealt with, and a proper solution can be brought forth using AI tools. So we are going to learn a lot. But today is going to be anchored on prompting. But before then, everyone here, if you are in Port Harcourt, if you are also in Nigeria, I would just love you to be part of something that I think will benefit you so much. Um, I'm going to be sharing what that is. That is has to do with um, okay. All right, so that has to do with STEM Festival. STEM Festival. STEM Festival is a global gathering of tech experts from ranging of graphic designs to animation to game development to robotics. And there is an event coming up, and I feel so strong that the church Christians needs their voice to be heard. I'm pushing it out to everyone connected to the call right now. You could just check the website stemfestival.org. You could register as a volunteer, as a participator, or as a competitor. It's an amazing event that transforms your scope when it comes to technology. So, every one of us, please, if you really want to explore more in technology, you could check out the website and advance. All right, having said that, let's continue from where we are. So today is prompt engineering and the church. Why are we studying this? Why are we looking at prompt engineering? Everything in today's world is run by AI. We are in an AI-driven economy, and when we say we're in an AI-driven economy or era, is that every technology is on the backbone of AI technology. That is artificial technology. That is artificial intelligence, rather. That is AI. And it is important to know what makes the AI behave the way it does and how you can maximize this particular system for yourself and for the church. How can we use it to advance our sermons, our ministries? How can we make it more interactive? How can we bring people that are first timers in churches and they become members of the church using technology? How can we solve follow up issues? How can we detect and um, um, the a possible outcome and make it become the same way as we have thought about it. All these are anchored on AI, that is artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is just a machine mimicking human intelligence. It has to do with it has to do with the machine capable of doing what we call reasoning, thinking, has to do with making decisions. And these do not work by themselves. They are all added based on a model. So that is what we want to learn today. So let's go. So prompt engineering is an art and science of designing inputs to achieve effective and precise outcome from AI models. What it means is that you may have heard the slogan says garbage in, garbage out. What you give to the system is what it gives you back. AI is not as intelligent as we see it right now. It is only intelligent to the degree of prompting, of input that you send into it. It is only intelligent to the degree of command that you ask the model to respond back to you. That is what it takes as feedback or as input and gives you exactly what you want. So we are going to be learning how to utilize this, and it's a bit lengthy, so let's go in. So the key concepts of prompt engineering are this. For you to understand prompt engineering, you have to understand what we call AI model behavior. AI model simply means generating response based on a pattern learned from data, from an intensive data. An example I can give is a medical student will go online and ask about a medical related subject, and there is a feedback from Google or the search engine you're using in line with what you have asked. How that happens is that they predict the sequence based on the words that you have imputed in it, what you have provided. So that means the quality of output is directly proportional or influenced by how clear your prompt is. Some individuals are really making tons of money, inclusive of myself, using this thing you're about to learn, which is called prompt engineering. The church also can use it to change how we do things, how we project Christ, how we interface with the community, the church community, how we can become more creative using this tool. So how it works, this model, this AI model pattern, is that it just follows a sequence of data. Trillions of data in a particular subject have been sent to it. And what it does is that you ask it, who is Jesus? And the Bible is part of the data that has been sent to it. It takes out that particular input, which is who is Jesus, and go through all the files, both biblical and otherwise other religions, and give you feedback. That is how it works. So the AI system or the AI model is divided into what we call AI system, and the next of it we are going to be looking at is called the prompt tokens and the rest. So AI models are particularly language models, generates outputs by predicting the next word or token in a sequence. This prediction is based on the training data, comprising of billions of texts, examples from diverse domains like literature, science, etc. So if that is the case, then we need to understand what it means to have a proper prompting. So the impact of your prompt is going to bring out a proper output or not. Example, if you say explain Jesus, if you ask the model now to explain Jesus, what I'll do now, I want to share my entire screen so we can be double around it. Okay, let me share my entire screen so we can go around it. Okay, good. So we are going to be using ChatGTP as an AI model. This is an example of an AI model. We're going to use DeepSeek as an example of an AI model. And also we are going to use Gemini as an example of an AI model. So we'll be using these three platforms to test our prompt ability as we learn. So let's try the first one. We say, who is Jesus, or who is Jesus, right? We are saying it's a vague prompt. Now, you have not done what is needed. See what AI begins to do. It gives you an overview of who Jesus is. He says a central figure of Christianity, belief, explain Jesus. So let's go back to our AI model. We are using ChatGTP for this. Explain Jesus. Let's see. Now, he begins to talk, who is Jesus? Historical background of Jesus. He goes further to say teachings of Jesus, miracles and works of Jesus, crucifixion and resurrection, Jesus in different beliefs, the impact of Jesus. You can see that the prompt that was being sent to this AI model was just direct. Explain Jesus. It wasn't cultured or guided. So you see that the artificial intelligence really do not know what you want. So it tries to give you all that it thinks that is necessary to your prompts. If we try this with DeepSync is going to be more than what we saw right now in ChatGTP. So if I say explain Jesus, we are going to receive right now a full book. So let's watch. So explain Jesus, and it's loading up. Good. So you see how it's thinking because it's so much. So it begins to talk. It's going to be a long book, this particular AI model. Why? Because you did not streamline it. Now we're going to compare the outputs of both ChatGTP AI model and DeepSync and see what goes on. So over here is saying Jesus is a central figure of Christianity, believed to be the Son of God and the Messiah. Key aspect: historical, Christian beliefs and other religion beliefs, impacts and legacy. Now, if we compare it to ChatGPT, you see it's quite similar. History and historical background, teachings of Jesus, miracle and works. Okay, this is something different. Crucifixion and resurrection, something different. Jesus in different beliefs, the same as DeepSync and the impact of Jesus. That is the same thing as talking about legacy. Okay, good. So we can see that a prompt as this do not give you what you are looking for. But if your prompt was really more tailored, more like what we have over here, I would say summarize over here. I want to pick the prompts. And if I say, for instance, here, good. I say summarize the person of Jesus. Let's get a new shot and let's drop the prompt here. So we are saying summarize Jesus, his key teachings, particularly the principles of love, forgiveness, and salvation, under 150 words. We have added some certain variables we are going to be learning in this class. Oh, good. So we're in ChatGPT right now. So we are saying summarize Jesus Christ's key teachings, particularly the principle of love, forgiveness, and salvation under 150 words. So the AI understand is constrained to 150 words. He knows exactly what you want from Jesus. It's not just about the history or whatever. It's about a particular aspect of his teachings. Now, see the kind of response that ChatGPT is going to give to us. It's quite different from what he give all the previous. You see, Jesus Christ teaches centered on love, forgiveness, and salvation. He emphasized love as the greatest commandment, and he's giving references. Can you see? So you see that the prompt I gave previously about Jesus and this one that is tailored to a specific thing under 150 words, the outputs are different. So let's understand basically what makes this different. If we can get hold of what we call prompt engineering, you will use it to change your church in different ways. I'm using it in my local assembly, and you can use it so much. And also personally or individually as Christians, you can use it to make massive money for yourself as an income, because we are already in the era of AI. So let's go on, please. So let's understand this AI model much more clearer. But before we break down and understand it, I want to tell you guys the types of prompts we have. We have majorly three types of prompts. Every other thing I'll be teaching today can be linked to these three types of prompts. The first is what we call instructional prompts. As the name implies, it's to give command, direct command. The AI model understands that this particular prompt is receiving is constraining him to do exactly what the user wants. So that is what we call instructional prompts. We're going to play around with these three prompts and we go deeper. The second is what we call open-ended. It's what encourages creativity. Example, in your local assembly, you want to use AI for your social media. You want it to create content. What you could easily do is that um, analyze analyze my church social media account. You put in the link there and say, um, suggest to me, suggest to me um, viral content that is in line with our value system in my church. And this is my value system when it comes to the church. So with that, what you have done is that you have asked the AI to go fetch data from your own church platform. We are going to drop a sample. I want you in the comment section, just drop the name of your church that has an Instagram handle. You could drop the link or something that we can use it as an example for open-ended prompts. Why we also use what is tailored here. So open-ended prompts will do something which is called creativity. It picks up that data, begin to think based on the algorithm that runs in Instagram or Facebook or any other social platform. He understands the algorithm. He use the algorithm as an advantage to you and bring out useful data on how to create a post that will engage more users. So in the comment section, just drop a link of your church platform you want us to work with, and you'll see what AI will help you achieve with it. The third is what we call the structured prompts. The structured prompt has to do with giving it a specific format, giving it a framework, a guide on how it should respond. So the example here is, for instance, create a weekly Bible study plan with key scriptures and reflection questions. Maybe you're a general overseer here and you want to start having devotionals, and you need a guide, you need something that can project into the entire prompt. Has to do with specific formats. What it does is that it takes what you want, your request, and give it a structure that you can visibly appreciate as a user. Are you with me? So when we say structure prompts, okay, I was making an example. You're a general overseer. You want to start having a devotional, or you want, as a media team in church, you want to do what we call weekly newsletter with specific topics, and you want AI to help you structure it in a way that is easy for you to create content or modify the content in line with your church values and post or project outwardly. So for this to occur, you use what we call structure prompts. So I will run the three again and let's go deeper. We have what we call instruction prompts. Instruction prompt has to do with giving direct command. Second is what we call open-ended prompts. It encourages creativity. You allow the AI model to be creative. It thinks. Please just pen down your question. In the next 10 minutes, I'll pause, take question, then continue. So the open-ended prompts helps the AI models to be creative in their thought process. An example that we gave here is write a short story about a boy on how to learn the power of prayer. A very good example we can put over here is that imagine you want to start a animation series, Bible animation series for your church platform. You could generate stories that are age specific. You could generate stories that are in line with what you want to obtain in your series, your animation series. And open-ended prompts can give you that to encourage creativity. That if you want specific formats, if you want to create a structured pattern of data gotten from the AI model, the structure prompts will be the best option for you. So every other thing we are going to learn right now is based on these three: instructional, open-ended, and structure prompts. So let's go together. In the next 8 minutes, I'm going to take questions that will go on. So we have what we call iterative prompt design. It's very interesting. If you're an engineering student, you understand what we call iteration. Iteration has to do with repeating upon what has existed previously or modifying what has occurred previously. So, what we do in prompt engineering, if you want to get the best out of an AI model, most times the first output is really not the best. Iterative prompt design gives you better off outputs compared to the initial one that the AI model gives to you. Now, the reason is this. The first prompt, when you generate or when you ask it a particular question, it tries to understand your perspective of thoughts. And with your words or with the prompts you're giving it, the tokens you're giving to it, it gives you a general view of a subject. Explain faith. We are going to try this right now. Explain faith is going to give us a broad view of what faith is. It's going to speak in an intensive format. But when we get the output of the AI model, then we can add to it and say, explain the impact of faith on a Christian daily life, including its role in decision making and overcoming challenges. And we are streamlining it to 150 words, for instance. Now, this is what is going to happen. It's going to change the entire output from just giving you its plain to giving you what you really do need. Let's do it practical right now. So I would love to use, let's still use ChatGTP. We start with ChatGTP, then we run to DeepSync. Okay, Gemini. We have not tried Gemini, so we see it. I'm giving you options so you can utilize them. And if you want to use it for personal usage, there are more AI models you can use it. If you're into the tech world in terms of coding, there are some certain AI models that are very much efficient than ChatGTP or DeepSync. But let's go on. So we are talking about explain faith. Now, it's going to explain faith based on a general view. One is not streamlined to Christianity, is not streamlined to the biblical examples. What the outputs I'm going to receive right now is going to be very general, not connected to any religion at all. So see what happens. So faith is a strong belief or trust in something, often without requiring proof. It is commonly associated with religion, spiritual conviction, but also applied to confidence in people, idea, or even oneself. Now you begin to see types of faith, characteristics of faith, and the rest. Now you see that the outputs, if for instance you're a pastor, and if for instance you're a pastor and you entered an AI model, or you're a media and you want to write content based on faith, you're having a program that talks about the dynamics of faith, and you came here to get some certain points to use for your content, you will just discover that you may not be able to utilize the AI model efficiently because of how you prompted. Please, can you mute yourself? Keneshuku, please, can you mute yourself? All right, please. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay. So now let's take this particular prompt. I don't want it to be constrained to words now. Let's take this particular prompt and let's modify it based on the outputs that we have already gotten. So this is what ChatGPT gave to us. He gave us a general view of what faith is, connecting it to almost nothing, religion and the rest. But now with this kind of prompts that we have over here, this is a very short prompt. Explain the impact of faith on Christian life, including its role in decision making and overcoming challenges. Are you with me? So this prompt tailors the artificial intelligence to know this is a Christian communicating with me, a Christian user communicating with me. That's number one. Number two, this particular Christian wants to understand how to make decisions and overcome challenges using faith as its primary tool. That is how the AI right now is processing your inputs. Now, see the outcome that it's going to give to you. Now, see here. So, faith plays a central role in a Christian daily life, influencing their decision mindsets and their ability to overcome challenges. It provides a foundation to trust in God, guiding believers to live according to the biblical principles and rely on divine strength in difficult times. Now, he begins to break it down based on what you want: faith in decision making, and also faith in overcoming challenges. So he begins to tell you that Christians often turn to the Bible. It gives you the passage for wisdom in decision making, and that also applies to faith. So we can see that the AI model is giving us much more better form than the previous prompt when we asked it to explain faith. Now I'm going to use Gemini. Gemini, in comparison to ChatGPT, is quite less. But let's see how it goes over here. And I'm going to paste it. I'm going to paste it as a plain text. Okay. Good. So now let's get the response from it. All right. So it begins to talk to us in different form. So guiding decision making, moral compass, perspective, blah blah blah, and the list goes on. Perspective of suffering, communal support, finding the meaning of purpose, and the rest of it. Now we see something very clear. We see that the model understands you as a user better because of the nature of your prompts. So this is what we call iterative prompts. So I can ask it go further to explain. We are doing iterative prompt design right now. Explain moral compass, for instance. He understands that I'm talking about this previous one, and he begins to break it down to explain it to me. Parameters, which is called temperature. Temperature is a very important role. Temperature often is being used when you are using any of the structures. I told you there are three types of prompts, which are, we have the instructional, we have the open-ended, and we have the structured prompt rather. Now, what happens when you apply temperature is that you make the AI model to understand the degree at which it can be either creative or straightforward. So when we say low temperature, it's going to give you content based on facts, factual response. So, for instance, the same question that has been asked, I don't want you to think about saying, okay, faith can help a man do this, overcome anxiety, blah, blah, blah. I want you to go through his data. I want you to go through the Bible. I want you to go through materials that are related to faith alone and give me factual response. Then I can add to my prompts temperature is equals to 0.2. What I've told it is, told the AI model is that be straightforward. I don't want you to be creative when responding back to me. This is very important, mostly when you are using AI model for getting text from, as the preacher is ministering. You can design a system, an AI system. I might show you that tomorrow. Tomorrow, what I'm doing is showing you AI tools that you can use in church media. It's going to be an amazing time. But today is prompt engineering. So you can use that temperature, different temperatures, to show what we call straightforward or factual response when it has low temperature. And at high temperature, you are making the AI model to be creative in its response. Are you with me? So we can apply this while prompting in prompt engineering. So let's go into our training section so fast. So we have what we call um, tokens over here. We have what we call tokens. Tokens simply means a breakdown of words or phrases or characters. The more the tokens, the more the inputs. The more the inputs, the more the AI understands the user. The more the AI understands the user, the more the output is similar to what the user desires. I hope everyone is getting me. So tokens has to do with the breakdown of words, breakdown of phrases, of characters. So when we say explain Jesus, the number of token here is 2. Explain Jesus. The number of token is 2. But when we say explain Jesus in line with his teaching that has to do with resurrection and life or love, forgiveness, and in 150 words, if you count the number of tokens, it is more than the previous. An example here is I just asked the prompt engineering and the AI model to preach for. It's a very funny prompt. Please don't do this. You're just going to just waste your time. Imagine you ask it to preach. This is one token. The AI doesn't understand what you want. He begins to just think. If you're looking for a message of hope, this, it's not clear. Are you saying it? So even the feedback, so it's telling you if you like something specific, please share more. Are you saying it? So he said, I would love to share more. Let me know. I would love to share more. But it has to do with you giving it more. So he's preaching. You are not an accident. Your life has meaning. You are very funny prompt. Are you saying? Now, compared to you giving it more detailed, more tokens. So the more the length of your prompts that is reasonable, the more the AI models understands what exactly you want him, or sorry, you want it to deliver to you. Are you with me? All right. So a very good example is that preach a short sermon on the theme walking by faith using Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1 as the main scripture. So let's try out this and see the difference I'm saying preach a short sermon with the theme. So let's count the number of tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is 17 tokens currently here. Now, compared to this, which is 1. Now, see how the AI model is going to respond. It's different from when you just made a statement to the system without its understanding. So it's creating a sermon now for you and I. So let's go. So it's saying the scripture, walking by faith, which is a theme. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So it takes that from the scripture and it begins to amplify. We live in a world that demands proof, visible results, tangible sources, and instant answers. But God calls us to a different way, walking by faith and not by sight. He referenced 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7. Faith is not a wishful thinking, it is a substance, a solid assurance in God's promises, even when you can't see it. You can see that He's giving you beyond that. Now, he goes, Hebrews chapter 11 is the hall of faith, filled with ordinary people who trusted God in impossible situations. Can you see? So we can see that he begins to reference. He says Noah built an ark. So if you're a church person here right now, a pastor, you can see that AI is actually preparing a sermon that can cross reference scriptures that can make your work, I won't say easy, but add to the inspiration of God, because what will impact God's people is the inspiration that comes from God. But AI model now is helping you to also create a structure to the thoughts that God drops in your heart. So it begins to reference. You see, Abraham left home without knowing his destination. Moses led Israel towards the promised land and he never entered. So you can see that all these are actions of faith. What does walking by faith looks like? It begins to talk to us. Faith acts before the miracle. Faith trusts God in this. So we can see in summary that the AI model gave us a better response compared to the initial um, input of preach. So the more the tokens, the greater or the better the outcome becomes. Can we Are we seeing it? Now, if you want to expatiate, you cannot add that iterative design to the response you're getting right now. You can say, explain further, explain further, explain further, number one. Now, the AI model understands that you're talking about this number one. Now, see what it does. So it picks number one now and begins to explain for you. So this is what we call iterative prompt design. So it's explaining it. Acts before the miracle. You can see that we didn't tell it to talk about act before the miracle, but you understand that based on the first prompt and based on the next prompt you're asking it, which is iterative, is to expatiate this particular one. It begins to make it deeper than normal. If you are here and you are a pastor, you are a Christian, and you haven't written a book or an article that can change life, God has given you a tool using this model, which is artificial intelligence. And we can use prompt engineering to make a full book. I made over 50-page book using AI alone. You can make over 200 pages using AI alone. It can break down the steps more and more. You can make it to reason. You can converse with it as though you're conversing with a counselor or someone, and you can make deep meaning or effective or an efficient book from this model. Okay, so back to what we are saying. So you can see that through iterative, he expatiated in number one, and through our tokens, which are more, it explained further the thing which is working by faith. Now, apart from what we have as token, we need to understand the basics of where we are going, which is called advanced prompt techniques. Advanced prompt techniques. Now, the first ones we have done is the basic prompts you can easily just do, and you'll still get feedback. Are you with me? You're going to just get feedback or output from the AI model. But if you want to be a authority when it comes to prompt engineering, these advanced prompt techniques I'm about to show you is what will change you or what will make you stand out when people prompt and when you prompt. Can we go further? All right, so the first we are going to be looking at is what we call role play prompts. So role play prompts are designed to instruct the AI to assume, this is the word, to assume a specific role or perspective, enhancing the depth and the contents of the generated response. These responses are particularly useful in scenarios where tailored or expert level of response are required. So we are looking at role play. For instance, I'm an engineer by profession. So if you ask me subjects that are related or topics related to engineering, I can easily respond without even being confused. I can tell you some certain structural parts, system flow, processes, whatever. But if you begin to ask me about medical related questions, you'll see me not being effective in giving you what you want. Why? Because that is not my profession. So we can condition the AI model to behave as an individual that has a specific profession. Are you with me? So the example we have here is that you are a church media specialist. Explain how the social media can be used effectively to spread the gospel and engage church members. Now we're going to do these examples, and you begin to enjoy the ability to prompt as in an advanced level compared to just prompting in the basic level you just learned. So the benefit is one, it provides focus and specialized response. Number two, it encourages detailed output by simulating expertise. And number three, now you're a church media specialist. We are going into practicals now, and this is why you're here. So you can use it to apply into your church media. So you're a church media analyst. So let's go to ChatGTP. Let's use ChatGTP and let's get a new chat and let's run. So I'm copying it and pasting it as a plain text. You're a church media specialist. This is a role. You've made the AI model assume a role now. Explain how social media can be used effectively to spread the gospel and engage church members. Now let's see the response. It's going to be different from when you just use this word, explain how social media can be used this. It's going to just give you a general view, but just putting this alone in your prompts, make the AI model much more expert conscious when giving you response. It's going to now think like those social media experts that you pay millions to take care of your social media pages. Now, watch over here. So it has assumed it. It's speaking from the place of authority and not from just a place of being an AI model. So it says social media is a powerful tool to spread the gospel, okay? Helping to extend the reach of your church beyond the physical walls. Are we here? Here is how it can be used effectively, like streaming and video content. We are saying this, daily devotionals and encouraging posts, community engagement and interaction, testimonies and evangelism, and we see event promotion and awareness, youth and children ministry engagement. And over here is telling you use TikTok and Instagram Reels for quick, engaging biblical lessons. So it's speaking to us right now as a social media expert, a church social media expert. So it's giving you the important tools. Are you with me? Now, it doesn't stop here. You can now use iterative prompt design to expand on all of them. For instance, if I pick this daily devotional and encouragement, it's telling us that we can use social media to share biblical verses with thoughtful, provoking reflection or prayer points. I'm telling you so well, this is how many churches are growing. A very key example, 2 years ago, majority of us may have not heard of Pastor Femi Lazarus, but his social media team did something. They began to use clips, excerpts of the preaching, and begin to project it in the social platform. And they were consistent in how they were giving delivery. It was back to back every single day, and something happened. We begin to see that everybody began to Google Pastor Femi Lazarus, Pastor Femi Lazarus. And in the space of 6 months, he grew into the place where he is right now. The same thing can happen to your local assembly using the AI tool. Now, it's giving you an adverse as a social media expert because he had assumed a role. And it's telling you that if you want to engage your church members, if you want to spread the gospel with social media. Number one, you must start doing live streaming. Number two, you need to start thinking of pushing out daily devotionals and encouraging posts on a daily basis. It's telling you how to penetrate the social media. It's telling you how to spread the gospel beyond the walls of your church. He said you need to start having what we call community engagement and interaction. So he's telling you post open-ended questions about faith, sermon, or daily life. Create a pool. He's giving you suggestions. You can see that you can prompt this model to start thinking and create solutions that will push your local assembly faster than an individual will do. Imagine 5 individuals thinking about how to expand the church, and there is a social media expert talking to you and I right now that there are 10 ways of expanding your church using the social media, and it's telling you how to do it. So this is the power of artificial intelligence and the power of good prompting. So because it has assumed church media experts is giving you much more detailed that is needed. I believe we understand deeper. So it's telling you right now that beyond the normal, there are several things you can do with the social media, and this is how you go around it. So let's go further, please. So we are talking about the advanced prompt techniques. We have talked about the basics, and now we are at the role play prompts. Role play is simply making the AI model assume a particular kind of thought process or specific role and perspective, and it gives you deeper form of it. Now, we are going to play around. We are going to ask one of the AI model this particular question. Explains the significance of the resurrection of Jesus Christ to a new believer in simple terms. Then we are going to ask it again, a different AI model, to assume the role of a theologian and do the same task. You're going to see the difference. The difference is going to be clear. One is going to give you a general view. One is going to be speaking as an authority when it comes to this particular subject matter. This will give you depth. If you're using artificial intelligence, AI, to study and or as a reference while studying, you're going to get depth in reasoning when you start using role prompts. I want to do this second example because of it's not just media individuals here. We have pastors here, and this is going to really help have impacts when it comes to delivery. Okay, so I'm going to use DeepSync to ask it plainly or ask it as a theologian, and I'm going to use Gemini to just let it explain. Hope you can see my screen. Yes, you can. Thank you very much. All right. So we are going to do a new directly explain the sibling cards. No thanks, no thanks, no thanks. All right, let's go on. So let's see. So it's going to process it, and it's speaking to me in plain terms. Imagine you have a really good friend who everyone loves, but then something terrible happens. They died. Everyone is heartbroken. The resurrection of Jesus is like that story, but with an amazing end. Here is why it is so important. He begins to explain the proof that Jesus is who he said he was. Number two, victory over death, forgiveness of sins, new life and hope, and a promise of your own resurrection. Now, he's speaking in a general view. Now, when you ask it to speak, let's go a new chart, and when you ask it to assume a role of a theologian and let it explain this, the response becomes different. It begins to reference the scripture while trying to make it simple. So let's see. The resurrection of Jesus is important as Christianity. This proofs. You can see now that it goes further. Now it goes further, not much more detailed compared to the previous ones. It first of all gives you the theologian perspective, then it starts speaking to it in simpler terms. Can you see? Now, compared to Germany, when we asked it to just explain it in simple terms, you can see the response are different. This is detailed with scriptures, while the other did not even reference scripture. It just gives you plain words that makes you feel okay. So this is the importance of role play when it comes to prompt engineering. All right. So the next technique we are going to learn is what we call shame prompts. We are already 1 hour into the class, so I will be wrapping up in the next um, 20 minutes to accommodate questions. So I'll be a bit fast, and because tomorrow is going to be amazing. Tomorrow is not prompt engineering. Tomorrow is AI tools and the church. So we are going to explore how to use AI tools to make your church something else. We are going to learn how to create videos, many other things from its summaries. We'll learn how to use AI to analyze um, a a passage or a sermon that was given. You drop in the audio, the AI will analyze it for you, tell you the key important parts, and tell you where to put in. And very, very beautiful, very, very beautiful. I'm going to do a lot tomorrow. So the same time, 8 p.m. So let's continue. Prompt engineering is a bit theoretical and practical as well. So when we talk about chain prompting, now, chain prompting has to do with multiple interconnected prompts to guide an AI through logical sequence. We can just call it what we say iterative prompt design, what we previously learned. But the only difference between iterative and chain prompts is that in chain prompting, the AI is super conscious about the first prompt that was given or the previous prompts compared to the iterative. Iterative, it could just go plain, what explain fits, and it gives you a vague point before you ask it to talk about it in Christianity. But when you are using chain prompting, you're giving a proper prompt, initial prompt, and with the feedback of the AI, you can now expatiate a particular section and in a deeper form. So if I'm to practicalize this, it's just going to be simple. What are the main benefits of a small group Bible study in a church? It tells you. Second prompt is that based on the outcome of here, it says for spiritual growth, explain how small group Bible study helps deepen believers' understanding of scriptures. So we are seeing that one of the benefits is that it deepens believers' understanding of the scriptures. So if it does, it simply means that the second prompt is taking the answer from the first prompt and is using it to give you an output that is different from the previous. Do we understand? I don't want us to dwell on this. I want us to do the third advanced prompt techniques. I believe every one of us can do chain prompting based on what you have learned from iterative prompt design. Right? Good. So let's push. I have 20 minutes. I want to answer questions. I want to answer questions. All right. Oh my. Talk about is what we call emotional prompting. Now, the AI model is designed in a way that it can add emotions while responding to the user. And this can be very effective. Um, I don't know if you've ever been in a position where which you are to send a condolence message to a church member as a pastor, and you're trying to find the right words to use, or you're being in a situation where which someone has have a delay, and you're trying to encourage the person and you lack words to use. Now, this particular kind of prompts help you understand the AI model, rather understand the tension around the user, the feelings of the user. So it can respond with words that are emotional, not just plain. It can respond with words that are deep than surface. Now, the benefit is that it helps you build connection to emotional resonant response. So imagine for a first timer, you want the prompt to talk about how happy um, or excited the church was of having you, and make it very personal that the individual will feel like loved. Let's try that example. Okay, so we are going to do an example, and we're going to do a live prompting right now. These are the words you use when it comes to emotional prompting. You use words such as persuasive, passionate, compassion, angry, based on the moods. You're going to add that emotional prompt input into your prompting so that the AI model will understand. Example, I'm going to use what we have learned, role play, and I'm going to add emotional to role play. You are a church, you're a pastor, you're a pastor of a church, and you are to write a compassionate welcome note to a first timers, or to the first timers that visited your assembly. Make it heartfelt. Make it heartfelt and very personal. Very personal, comma, or full stop rather. The goal is to make them special, to make them feel special. The goal is to make them feel special and long till attend the next service. The next services, okay? All right, so let's see now. The goal is to okay, make them feel special. And so, okay, so the prompt is, you are a pastor of a church. So we have given it a personality now. The AI model has assumed a personality. Now, write a passionate welcome note. We are talking about emotional prompting for first timers that visited your assembly. Another prompt that triggers the output to be much more emotional. Make it heartfelt and very personal. The goal is to make them feel special and long to attend the next service. You know, some of our churches, for first timers, you just send them a message and tell them, thank you for worshiping with us today. We are happy that you did worship with us. We hope to see you next service. I'm not sure I've gotten such kind of messages. Let me just see thumbs up. If you've gotten such kind of message, let me say you visited a church for the first time and you got a response from the church and it was just plain. Thank you for being part of us today's service. We long to see you again. How many of you have seen that? Let me see. Okay. I can see hands now. Now, we can do it better. We can make our first timers dream of next service on Sunday night after attending your service using AI prompt. So let's see the outcome. So it's okay. So it's doing two. It's giving me two responses to choose from. So it's giving me the first and the second. Now this is long. So why? Because we did not streamline it to make it short. But let's see what it says. Let's see the first response. Dear beloved first timer guest, whoa, what a joy it was to have you with us today at you put in your church. From the moment you walked through our doors, you became more than just a visitor. You became a family. We truly believe that God ordered your steps, and it wasn't an accident that you are here today. We hope you felt warmth of our love and the power of God's presence and the sincerity of our worship. You matter to God. You matter to us. This is a place where you can grow and be encouraged and find purpose. No matter where you have been or what you have been through, you are welcome here. Everybody, you're with me, right? I'm reading out. And we would love to see you again. Next Sunday will not just be the same without, okay, will not be the same without you. Until then, know that we are praying for you and that our doors and our hearts are always open to, to you. If there is anything we can do for you, or if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. You are loved, and we can't wait to see you again. With love and blessings, you put your name and the position as a senior pastor. Tell me if your first timer did not read this on their WhatsApp, and I'm saying WhatsApp, if they'll not think of coming back again. Hello, guys. You're with me, right? Thumbs up if you're with me, please. Okay. So the first. All right. I hope you guys are with me. Yes. So I just read the first response, and only myself alone, I'm already feeling happy as a first timer on Digital Church of AI. The way it spoke, it was like, whatever you are, how you're feeling, we are here for you. Are you with me? So you can have these templates and you can give it to, as a media team, you can generate this kind of templates and give it to your follow-up units and say, why can't we use this kind of words? Or this is a kind of words, those that make calls to first timer, you can actually use this. And when you pick, hello, my name is Daniel Kalio. What a joy and privilege to have you with us today. From the moment you walk through the doors, you weren't just a visitor, you became family. We truly believe God ordered your steps, and we know it's not an accident. And you begin to talk, yeah, blah, blah, blah. We are more than a church, we are your home. I'm reading the second response. Now, imagine you have a script for your first timers, and everybody that needs to call your first timers already know exactly how to speak to them. This will make your first timers long to come to church again and again and again and again. Why? Because the script contains everything necessary that can pull that person from being a first timer to become a member, that can pull that unbeliever that is feeling rejected to know that there is a family that loves them. So this can be a script. So emotional prompting can give you the best when it comes to this kind of outputs. Everyone, you're with me, right? So we can see that ChatGPT helped us to do a very good work. If we take it to any of them, you will see the same kind of response. And this can be a template to any church for their first timers. We can also use this kind of template, and we say write to those to those members that aren't coming to church anymore, and you see it will give you a different kind of prompts. Okay, let's do it. Write same to individuals or members of the church that are not attending again. I'm using iterative prompting because initially, if I'm to use a fresh prompt, I'm supposed to write all I wrote before, but now I'm using iterative. So you still understand that I'm talking about emotional prompting. Okay, so write the same to members of the church that are not attending again, and encourage them to come. All right, so you can see now it's quite different. Dear beloved, the member's name. I just wanted to take a moment to let you know how much we love and miss you in our church. You are valuable and a part of this family. Your presence makes a difference more than you realize. Life can be busy and challenging and sometimes pulls us away. But I want to remind you that this church is still your home. No matter how long it has been or what you're being going through, you are always welcome here with open hands. We have been praying for you and we truly desire to see you again, worshiping, growing, and fellowshipping with us. God has a purpose for your life, and there is a place for you here in this family of faith. If there is anything you need, prayer, encouragement, or just someone to talk to, please do not hesitate to reach out. We care about you deeply. I personally invite you to join us this Sunday. It won't be the same without you. Let's reconnect, worship together, and experience God's love afresh. We can't wait to see you again. Now, if you have this particular template targeted to first timers that did not come the next Sunday, the upper Sunday, or your members that stopped coming for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you can be rest assured that their response to this your message can trigger them coming back to church. Some of them will come out, oh, I've been busy with this, but I will try to come around. Some of them will feel, oh, I felt lonely, and I just was now reminded from your write-up that I have a family. Are you with me? So you can see that emotional prompting gives you better off output when it comes to this kind of outputs. So we have learned in advance, we have learned role, we have learned about chain prompting, and we have also learned about emotional prompting. So I said 20 minutes and I'm out of time. I'll drop this as a template while I talk, which is called the framework of components. This is what I want you to take home with if you want to be solid in prompt engineering. We have a framework. One is called the role. Next is called the task. Now, when we talk about role, is like role playing. Task talks about explaining exactly what the AI model has to do. Now, specifics has to do with adding details and constraint. Next, context has to do with providing background information for the purpose of this task. Then format has to do with how you want it to be, the kind of language you want it to be, the formatting system you want it to be. Now, the prompt we just did, let's look if it has these components. One, it has you are a church, that is role. Number two, you have to write a passionate welcome note that has to do with tax. To first timers that visited the assembly, this is specifics and constraint. Next, context. Make it heartfelt and personal. That is context. And again, the goal is to make it to make them feel special and long to attend the next service. That is the context. So we have context, we have specifics, we have tags, and finally we have role. Now, when you use this method, you will always get solid prompting from any AI model. Are you with me? So when you use this model, getting the role, the tags, adding specifics, and giving it context, it will always give you the required prompting. This will make you stand out as a prompt engineer or someone that uses AI model as a prompt using AI model. All right. So at this point, I want to ask if we have questions. If we have questions. If we have questions. Mind you, tomorrow we are going to be doing a lot. We are going to be creating fun characters tomorrow. How we'll convert your pastor face into cartoons using AI models, and how to make it talk, putting the sound across it. We are going to also learn tomorrow how to, everybody, you can hear me, right? Tomorrow we are also going to learn how to utilize AI tool for summarizing of your sermons. So you recorded it with your phone or with your mixer. You can send it to the AI. The AI understands it, create a script so that the person that is to post um, um, content for the week will not be listening to write pen down or whatever. The AI does that for you. It takes striking parts of the sermon and tell you where you can get it, the particular time frame where that particular speech was gotten out from. You can use that to get cropped videos. When you see some certain pastors, they put out not the full sermon, but important and snippets of the sermons. And you see, people want to know more. People want to find the full message. AI model will help you develop that. So we are going to learn all this tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be very practical, and I'll accommodate a lot of questions. Okay, so I'm open for questions now. I'm open for questions. Please ask a question. If you have a question, just raise up your hands, then unmute yourself, then we continue. Meanwhile, if you felt this section was needed, just give a thumbs up. If you learned something from this section, you can give a thumbs up. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank God it was impactful. Okay. So, questions, please. Questions? Any question? Do we understand now the concept of prompt engineering, how to use it? Lausen, you have a question? Amen. All right. Any question? Okay. Okay, so I was asking if this class is recorded. All right. The class is actually not recorded. I'm sorry. But I'm using my system to record, and hopefully I can be able to use AI to clean up the class and send it across. But ultimately, it's not recorded. Okay. Okay. You can speak Ekeneshuku. All right. Thank you very much. And as I started this section, I started it up with encouraging you. I started this section with encouraging you, if you are a tech individual, I am encouraging you to participate in a tech related competition, exposition, exhibition. You can be a volunteer, you could be also a participator, a competitor, and that is STEM Festival is one of the biggest tech events or STEM events you will have. It comprises of all STEM areas from robotics to web development, animation, game development, IoT, advanced AI. So we are going to use it to create solutions. I want you to understand that the church needs to be in the forefront of technology. The reason why cyber insecurity or cyber crime rather is on the increase is because many people do not know how to use technology to position themselves. All right. I hope you can see my screen. Many people do not know how to use technology to position themselves. Sorry. Let me stop sharing. I'll show you something else. Okay. Mm. Okay. So I'll talk about STEM Festival. Many individuals in the short space are not utilizing technology, and they are not also having impact in the tech space. This is the reason why cybercrime is on the increase. You see a teenager that's supposed to be studying is thinking of Yahoo frauding, defrauding people. Is because they are not exposed to the right use of technology. You see an adult going into cybercrime, into fraud. It's because we as Christians, we are not telling them that you can use technology to actually make massive money and do it rightly. So this competition, or rather this event, um, is majorly to project what STEM can do, what technology can do, and how we can impact the church as a whole, individuals as a whole. It's going to help shaping the mindset of from the young individuals to um, the experts on how to use technology rightly. So I'm encouraging every one of you to log in into stemfestival.org, stemfestival.org, and use it. All right. So stemfestival.org and use it to be part of this movement. I want Christians, I want believers, you and I, to be the strong pillars projecting technology for the gospel. And one way you can be relevant is to be in the tech space as a media personnel. So you can just use the link that is on the group there and join up. Thank you very much for today. And as I said, tomorrow is not prompt engineering. Tomorrow will be much more fun. I'm going to drop a little glimpse of what the outcome of tomorrow's meeting is going to be. and on the platform, or the admin will drop it on the platform. And every one of us, please anticipate it, because you're going to learn a lot. I'm excited, and I'm sure you should be, because you're going to use it to make a lot of impact. God bless you, and have a blessed night. Thank you.